Ah, yeah. Ooh-wee. All right, all right. What's going on, party people? All 15,000 and about 4 or 5 of y'all. All right. Let the party people get on up in here. All right, all right. Notifications gone out. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, okay, there we go. Turn that down. All right, my volume's working. I'm trying a little something. I see you up in here, Oswald, and I did not call it Fritter Friday because I knew you were gonna give me a hard time. Because I don't have time tomorrow to do Fritter Friday. Man, I was going to, but my schedule changed at the last minute, and I got to go to Williamsburg, Virginia. So I got an 8:30 in the morning. And good evening to you, big man. I got an 8:30 in the morning, and then a 10 o'clock. Then I got to shoot over to Williamsburg, which is essentially an hour's drive. And that's during the time that I was going to do Fritter Friday. And then I got a 4 o'clock. So and I'm trying to get myself to the point of resting more now. Hey, what's going on, Chantel? And so that's why I wasn't gonna do Fritter Friday tomorrow. And I said, well, I'm gonna do something tonight and everything. Fritter Thursday. I know, man. And man, there's a new dessert. What's going on, Jeff? There's a new dessert that I found that I like, and I keep forgetting. I like it, but then I keep forgetting to get it. But actually, I'm not even on that side of town, and I'm not necessarily one to be going and taking an extra trip just to get some food, depending on what it is. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. But okay. Mm-mm-mm. All these new signing companies. Print one set. It contains. All right. Phew. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, these new signing companies, man, these folk are nervous. I mean, they are nervous. They like don't s- don't ship nothing until we look it over and bless it and tell you that you can ship. I mean, I'm like, come on, people, come on. When somebody got some experience, you should be able to at least trust them a little bit that they're gonna know what they're doing and everything. And all of that. But yeah, I could call it. I ain't gonna lie, man. I started just calling it Fritter Thursday, but I don't know. Fritter Friday got a little bit more ring to it and everything. So, but yeah, and I know my man Jeff. He's out there kicking it in California, doing everything, fingerprinting, loan closings, the notary family, all of that good stuff. So, really, really appreciate him. Um, so yeah, tonight. Oh man, I've been getting a lot of questions over the last couple of weeks about the loan closing business and about how it operates. And I said, well, I can't recall me ever really talking about it directly. And I don't ever remember anyone else putting any word out about like what's the whole flow of the loan closing business. So I said, let me just go ahead on and do that. So I said I'll do that tonight and talk about some other stuff. And it has two flows to it. It has two flows to it. So we're going to go over the two flows of the loan closing business. And Beverly, all right, we're going to go over the loan closing flow. But the one thing that I did want to do, and hold up, let me save that. All right. And again, I just want to say thanks to everybody who is a subscriber and members. I really appreciate it. Um 15,000 people, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, And uh, and let me show this to y'all. Yeah, so 15,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. It fluctuates up and down. It'll be up to the 7, then it'll be down to 3, then it'll be down to might drop down to 4,000. I mean 14,999. So it goes up and down and everything. So maybe I made somebody mad and then they stop subscribing. But I appreciate it. New achievement right there. 15,000. Really, really, really appreciate it. That's awesome. So I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. Where's your cut? Man, how many people you got to subscribe to me, Oswald? Because I only think you got like maybe 3. You know, the minimum is 12. If you get 12 people to subscribe to me, then I can get you cut. Look, you get me to 20, then we talk. All right. The next milestone is 20,000. Which it took 8 months to get me from 14 to 15,000. So, it can be slow. And I know part of that was when, people been dropping out the business and everything. So I get that. But what do we want to talk about tonight? And feel free to drop your questions in there. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you. I'm feeling good tonight, NGC. I'm actually feeling good. Overall, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I do need to go to bed, get some more sleep. I'm not gonna lie to you. But because I got some real bad back problems that I got from when I was in the military. And if I lay in the bed too long, it makes it hard. So sometimes I don't get but nothing but like 4 hours sleep, 5 hours of sleep. Because once I go over that, my back is just like throbbing the whole day and it just slows me down. So by the time I get to this point, I'm just like, you know. And the last video I did, the one about the LLC, I mean, yeah, setting up the LLC, I probably was real mellow. I wasn't my normal, hyped up self because I was tired and everything. But overall, I'm doing good. Good evening, LaShonda. That's my lady there. She be kicking it. 20,000. I got you cut for you, man. And thank you for the congratulations. Thank y'all for hitting the like button and all of that good stuff. And with the 3 my man, I'm telling you. Look, man, you got you got the whole Haitian community. All of them need all of them need to subscribe. You get them to subscribe, hit that like button, man. I'll be at 20,000 like that. All right. So, what I wanted to talk about was, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm putting this out there because this is the way I view what we do to process, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but after 5 years of doing this, this is what I've concluded how the loan closing process works, because a lot of new notaries are coming in and they really don't understand, and I don't know if anybody is talking about it. Yeah, Q and Matt, we was talking earlier today. Q, he's been busy working on some stuff, some personal stuff. Matthew, he's been out there hitting the streets, doing the constable thing. So they'll probably swing through a little bit later. But yeah, I talked to them 3. We was on a 3-way call earlier today, chopping it up and everything. In the last couple of weeks, we both, all 3 of us, keep saying, but all 3 of us have been just like really, really, really busy. I did 76 closings last month. um you know on top of everything else I do. So yeah, and them 2, they've been, like I said, they've been working on some stuff, but we've been keeping in contact with each other. So I'm gonna show y'all what I put together as what I believe the loan closing process is, to where it gets to the notary. Okay, what it has to go through before it gets to us. Okay, how quick this happens. And hold on, this little air freshener thing is bugging me. Oh, it's empty anyway. I don't know. I just get a little bug when I start seeing stuff all in the corners and stuff that be distracting me. Um, and all that good stuff. Yep, glad you caught the live too. Yep, got another one here, Miss Melissa Kitchens. All right, oh Melissa's Kitchen. Okay, that means you could look. I know y'all just went off into a rabbit trail here, but my youngest son, he surprised the whole family. He went and cooked lasagna a couple of days ago. And y'all know I love to cook. Y'all probably, if y'all looked at my channel, you see cooking stuff I did. He cooked lasagna himself. No help from me except for just showing him how to cut stuff up and just some small things. But he followed the directions, cooked it himself, and it turned out great. He went and bought all the ingredients himself, everything, the meat, the pasta, everything. He cooked everything from start to finish himself, and it turned out great. I mean, that's part of the other reason why I'm a little laid back because I can only. It was good. It's good, and lasagna is one of my favorite dishes. You know, pasta dishes, lasagna. I love it. So he did an excellent job. No vegan thing, and no vegetarian stuff, and all of that. No grass. It's grass fed lasagna. It was real lasagna. So I appreciate that. So he did great. You know, I got to give him kudos on that. And I didn't really teach him how to cook. They learned how to cook just watching me. And I showed him some things, but he figured it out on his own and stuff. You're right. No, man, no. I didn't even know he was. I mean, he told me he was doing it. I didn't know when. He just surprised us. You know, we all sitting over here, all four of us chilling on the fourth. And next thing I know, he's come downstairs, bring his computer, got lasagna on a little lasagna video on there, and he cleared the kitchen out and then just got to going. And I was like, a couple hours later, I was chowing down. So I got to give him thumbs up on that. So let me show y'all this here. All right. So here's what I've discovered over the years, 5 years, that what I see the loan closing process goes through. I've talked to an underwriter about this, couple of underwriters, and they basically told me, yeah, this is for the most part how it flows. And again, if I'm wrong, then somebody throw in, the comment section, let me know. If there's an underwriter or a mortgage processor or somebody, let me know. So, as you see, one side is without the signing company, the other side is with the signing company. So on both sides, loan officer, then you have the loan processor, then you have the underwriter, then you have the escrow, entitled people, and you could say call slash settlement. And then you have on one side without the signing company, then it goes to the notary for closing, whether in office or out of office, meaning in person there with the title company or as a remote notary, which we are. And then you have the signing company where the title company escrow says, hey, signing company, go find somebody to do this for us. And then they find us. Now, here's what you got to keep in mind. In order for the loan officer to have something to give to the processor, the loan officer has to have a client who wants a loan that's applying for it somehow, refinance, buying a house. So either they're refinancing, and when I say refinance, I'm calling HELOCs, reverse mortgages, just regular refis, anything where a person has an existing home and they're doing something to that mortgage to either get money out or reduce their interest rate. And you can even throw loan mods in there where they're trying to save their house by having the modification, the loan modification and putting the payment to the end of the loan. So there's something going on. When I say refis, I'm talking about anything dealing with an existing mortgage for an existing homeowner who's not selling the property. Then you have purchases, and the people who are purchasing it, they're trying to find a home and they need some kind of money. Okay. And that's when the loan officer goes into effect. Once they get that secured, then it goes to the loan processor, who then takes it, does whatever they processing do, checks everything out, makes sure the stuff is correct, and then they hand it over to the underwriter. The underwriter is where it all happens. The underwriter checks and makes sure everything meets the criteria for that bank, for them to say yes, we'll loan to you. Then the title escrow people do their stuff, checking the title, make sure it's free and clear. There's no liens against it, all of that. Put all the paperwork together, make sure all the insurance is straight. And once all of that's together, the underwriter says, "Yep, we're good to go." The title company say, "Yep, we're good to go." And then they get the work to the notary, and then the notary does their thing, and boom. Now, and even with the signing company, they figured out, okay, cool, let me get a notary. Now, here's where the issue comes in at. If the loan officer doesn't have any business coming in, he can't give anything to the loan processor to give to the underwriter. And if those three, because those three typically, these three typically in most cases work together. Say Wells Fargo loan officer, processor, underwriter. They work together. The title company is a separate entity that's not underneath. It could be, but most of the time right now it's not. So if this group don't have any work, they can't pass anything down to the title company. And if the title company doesn't have anything, then they can't pass anything down to the notary. So you say, well, where's the work? The work is with the loan officer. If the loan officer has something, it'll get through the processor, through underwriting, and then the title company will have it, and then they can give it to us. And if you don't have the loan officer with work, it's not going to happen. If the title company, and I talked a little bit about this before, but not to this detail, if the title company is connected with a loan company that does not do a wide variety of work, of no of closings of mortgage type work, then the title company is going to be limited in the type of work that they have. So if the title company does not have a loan company that deals in refis, HELOCs, um, new bills, this, that, and the other, if the loan company only deals in refinances and that's it, and then the refinances go away, then what do you have? You don't have a whole lot for the title company to give to us. That's what you have right now. Okay. That's what you have. What's going on from the DMV? Miss Robin. Oh, she changed the picture. Okay. And good to see you. I'm glad you caught the live. And then on the other side, the signing company is just a middle person. The signing company is just a person who's like, hey, I'm just here passing work from the title escrow people to the notary. I'm just in between. I'm the middle person, just trying to make their life easier. So the signing company is trying to make everybody else's life easy. Um, Sometimes the signing company, in my opinion, can go a little overboard with promising that the notary is going to do things in order to get in good with these people here, primarily to get in good with the title company. So the signing company can sometimes promise and say, "Oh yeah, the notary is going to do this, that, and the other. The notary will make sure the notary does these things." And the thing is, we're independent contractors, so they have to be mindful of what they're promising that we'll do, especially if it's not in line with our state laws. So you got to really be careful with that. And you, as the notary, have to be careful about what people are promising that you're going to do or telling you what you better do if it doesn't match with your state laws and all of that. Now, the problem comes in on the signing company side is if the signing company, depending on how they vet people, if they or whatever the case may be, however they decide to select somebody, you got notaries who lie about who they are, what they their experience and all of that. And then the notaries do bad work, which then affects the escrow, which then affects the loan officer, which affects the customer. We can probably put, and we'll just let me drop this down. We'll put the customer here. So you have the customer And all of what we do down here as notaries can affect will affect the customer. The title company don't do their part, it affects the customer. The loan officer, it affects the customer. So the signing though, that sometimes the escrow will tell the title, we want somebody that has 200, signings under their belt. And the same thing could come from over here, but if you're working more closely over here, you might not have a problem. But if you can do your job right, then you're good. Everything is smooth. Nobody's fussing. You go in there, you get the job done. This is why I'm saying when you're dealing with, and okay, let me go back. Okay, so good question. Some of the things they ask notaries to do, like recently, somebody sent me some information where there's a signing company and maybe multiple that's doing this out of Maryland. And let me come to y'all for a quick sec. So in Maryland, they have what is called tip license, title insurance producer license. Okay, TIPL or tip license and all that. TIP, title insurance producer. In Maryland, the notaries there may be required. Ugh, got to trim all this up. My bad, y'all. Got distracted. In Maryland, they may have to share or talk about title insurance, and they're licensed to do that. So there's a signing company, and I really can't remember even the company's name, but somebody sent me a shot of what they said. Said that the notary need to do. They're saying in their policy that a notary, yeah, yeah, that's what, yeah, Oswald, that's my man. Oop, yeah. Now, and I'm gonna show y'all something too about that. You don't actually have to have that in Maryland. I'm gonna show y'all that. I'm gonna show y'all that tonight. I did some research. You don't have to have it in Maryland under a certain circumstance, and you may already know, Robin. But here's the thing: in the order, in the instructions they sent to the notary, it said if you cannot share or explain the title insurance section that's in the loan closing document, let us know and we'll reassign it. Here's the problem with that. In Virginia, you have to have a title license also in order to talk title stuff. So you're doing closings in the state of Virginia. You're in Maryland, but you want the Virginia notary to do what Maryland notaries do, which is explain stuff from a title perspective, when the Virginia notary is not required to have a title license. So you're asking me to do something that is in violation. And if you and this is where the signing companies, and these are notaries who are opening up signing companies, and you're basing what you're doing off of all of that you did, but you're going across state lines, so you need to contact the Secretary of State in Virginia and talk to the title insurance people and find out. Or better yet, look at my video that's called LSA versus NSA. It's about a 48 minute long video, but it talks about title insurance, responsibilities in the state of Virginia for notaries, whether, and all of that. And we got to have a title license. So if I don't have a title license, I can't speak on that. And I'm not required to have it, such as Maryland and Indiana. So you're asking me to do something that I'm not required to do. So now I'm being punished, meaning you're going to take the order away from me and give it to another notary, which means now you're forcing somebody, in my opinion, you're forcing somebody to discuss something that they're not allowed to do. And if you take it all the way back and you go to where the NNA, and in their training, it says follow the instructions that are given to you from the contracting company as long as they don't violate state law. So if they don't violate your state law for you as a notary, if they ask you to do something, you can do it. So people will ask you to collect closing funds. Y'all hear me talk about that all the time. In Virginia, we're not allowed to. If you take signature closers training, they have it in their training. Virginia notaries can't collect closing funds. That's a thing, but people want us to do it anyway. So it could be a wide variety of things. Another thing that in Georgia, In Georgia, notaries can't be witnesses on documents they're notarizing. Florida says, their state law says, the notary can be a witness to a warranty deed or a deed, and sometimes a mortgage that is for property in Florida. So if you are a Florida resident, and if you're a person in Georgia trying to buy a property or selling a property in Florida, and you dealing with a Georgia notary, guess what? The Georgia notary can't be a witness. That means you're going to have to pay. Somebody's going to have to pay for two witnesses unless the couple gets two witnesses, because it's required on Florida's deeds and warranty deeds that you have two witnesses, and in some cases, two witnesses for the mortgage. And the mortgage is typically when they first buy the property. So they're asking you to witness something as a Georgia notary that you're not legally allowed to do. That's what I'm talking about. And this is the importance of the signing company understanding individual state laws and making sure that they're not asking the notary to do something that they shouldn't be doing. That's where the problem comes in at. And then if they're promising the title company, oh yeah, we'll make sure, we'll help you save money by making sure the notary witnesses dot dot dot. But if that state says they can't, you shouldn't be trying to make somebody do something. That's why I'm saying you can't be promising that somebody's going to do something, especially an independent contractor who is not under your purview as an employee. You can't make me do something that I'm not legally allowed to do. And that's what I'm talking about, So that's some of the things that they can actually do. And it's a whole wide variety. I mean, you got companies out there that'll tell you to backdate, meaning go and get a document re-signed and do something notarized again because there was a mistake on it. But instead of dating it for today, they want you to backdate it for 10 days ago or 2 days ago and all of that. And you legally can't do that. No, you can't do that. Or they're asking you to put your stamp on documents that you don't need to be putting your stamp on. It's like, why are you asking me to put my stamp on? No, I can't put my stamp on that. That's the kind of stuff that they can do. Let me see if I can, and just for the new people, let me pull something up for y'all. Let me pull something up to help y'all with a visual on this. Do. Let me pull this up real quick. All right. All right. So this here is what is called a notary identification sheet. Okay, certification. And down here at the bottom is saying this here says what? And I don't care, y'all can find my info out there and everything. I ain't worried about nobody rolling up on me. I acknowledge that the identification as stated above was provided to me at the time the borrower and or co-borrower executed the documents for the real estate transaction. I have not provided borrower or co-borrower with advice, counsel, or any opinion concerning the content of the document, signature, and stamp. You're signing this. They're not. This is not a notarial statement, so you cannot put your seal on here. But they will have these things where they want you to put your stamp on there, and it's like you can't do that. Okay, you can't do that. You cannot put your stamp on here. That is wrong. That is wrong for you to do that. You cannot put your stamp on here because one, this is not a notarial statement. Okay. This is not a notarial statement. This is just you saying you did something. You sign it, stamping it. That's considered you stamping, notarizing your own signature. You cannot do that. But they out here telling notaries to do that. And I don't. And the NNA tells us in section 2.7 of the handbook of the code of conduct, don't do no illegal notarizations, and that will be one of them. Okay, plain and simple. So you have to be mindful of that. And I called the NNA on this and asked them about it. Called to them, not call them out on it, but called and asked them. They said lining through and initialing your seal over your seal, it does not invalidate it. it does not call it, cancel it out because you lying through an initial. You still stamped the document, and you stamped it because you signed it. Okay. Again, call the NNA and ask yourself. And if they tell you something different and got something that says, "Oh no, you can't," then please update me. Because when I called them a couple of years ago, that's what they told me. So you have to be careful about what they are asking you to do. So what's there's Q? What's going on, man? All right. So say the title company for my refis does that. They allow me to use a certificate with it. Okay. And see, you cannot, right. Now I hope I'm understanding. The title company for my refis does that. They allow you to use a certificate with it, meaning because see what because see there's the person whose ID I'm getting to fill, and I filled it out. The only person that's signing that is me. They're not signing it. The borrowers, they're not signing it. Now, some companies get slick and they will add a signature block on there for the signers just to make us put our stamp on there. And what I was told was, well, we want your stamp on there so we'll know that your stamp is valid. And to me, that don't make a lick of sense because I'm about to stamp about 7 or 8 other documents in there, and you're not going to get this piece of paper back until when I send the whole loan package back. So using that as a reason for me to stamp to say we need to verify your stamp. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Not if you're gonna cause me to do something illegal. You see what I'm saying? And you're saying you do a separate acknowledgement for those. Okay, but even if you did the separate acknowledgement, are you somebody has remember we notarize signatures. We don't notarize documents. So in the case of you seeing that type of form, even if you did use a separate acknowledgement, who's acknowledging what? Because that document is about you acknowledging what you did. It's not about them. Remember the notarial acknowledgement. So you have them sign the doc. Okay. So if they sign the document, but see, okay, then let me ask you this. Is it a signature line for them to sign it, or are you just having them sign it? You get what I'm saying? So because if that's the case, if you're just having them to sign it, then what you're doing is, in a sense, you're doing a roundabout way to have you to put your notary stamp out there for them. But again, if the purpose for them wanting that stamp is to verify that your stamp is actually valid and not expired, that's to me is a farce because you don't send that piece of paper back until the closing is done because you can't fill the ID stuff out. That's for you until you get what with the customer. So you're sending back this document to verify that your stamp is valid. However, well, then they're going to have to go. I mean, you can't call your state because sometimes you're trying to call your state. Okay, so she said she don't stamp the doc. Good. Right. I know you don't stamp that doc and everything. I'm just trying to make sure I understand that, because you said you have them sign that doc, but you didn't add another acknowledgement. And the only thing I was just trying to get clear in my head, is there a spot on there for them to sign that document? Um, so let me just share with this. So just so y'all can see the top part. So this top part is just basically me filling out the ID that I collected from them. Then it goes into I'm saying that I did collect the ID, and that's it. And then some people will have them. Okay, So you're saying on the form to sign next to their info, and I right. Yeah, and see, yeah, okay. So like up here is where I put their name up here. I notarize the signature of so and so, and then you're just saying is you will have them sign next to it. When you understand what an acknowledgement is, it's the person acknowledging that the information. I get it, but technically this isn't for them to sign and everything. So I understand now fully what you're doing. I understand fully what you're doing. Just make sure that that's right, because even though it's just an easier way to say, okay, I won't stamp this document, but I'll stamp the other document, the actual acknowledgement and say, see attached. The question then becomes, should they be signing this in the first place? And if they should, cool. If not, and there. But again, as I was told by many companies, they were saying they want to make sure that my stamp is valid. And I was like, you just got to trust me. And then my lady said, the title company I use, there's a line for them to sign next to that I write to see attached and I don't stamp and I do. Okay, got it. And that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And I've seen a couple of companies do that also, but what I was been told over and over again, they do that to verify the title companies do that as a roundabout way to have our stamp and see it doesn't, to say, well, we want to prove that it's valid. And I don't agree with that. I don't. That don't make any sense at all. All right. So let me come back to y'all. So when it comes to the process, the overall process, because notaries are like, where's the work at? The work is over there at the loan officer. If the loan officer ain't got nothing, we ain't got nothing. It's that simple. If the loan officer doesn't have somebody who wants a loan, who qualifies for a loan, the other three steps, the second, third, and fourth step, never's going to happen on the without signing company side. And the second, third, fourth, and fifth spot is never going to happen because without somebody wanting the money, you're not going to have a title company doing their part, and they're not going to be able to funnel that work to a signing company. That's just the way it goes. So, therefore, what work is out there? Some of the work that's out there is the loan modification because nobody's trying to borrow money. So, therefore, they're not really talking to I mean, they talk to a loan person to go through the process, and all they're doing is just taking the old money that they owe and then sticking it to the back. You might see some debt settlements, which you don't need a loan officer. You might see some loan applications out there to try to generate stuff. This is why I encourage notaries to do the loan applications. When you see loan applications come through your area, do them because there's an opportunity there for that person to apply for a loan and then get it, and then hopefully you'll get the loan get the closing for that loan application. You see what I'm saying? And you're good. Ah, okay, you up there. I refuse to put myself. Cool. That's correct. That is correct. And one other piece of thing, this is back in the day, what I was told back in the day before I became a notary, what I was told was that some notaries, in order they were being cheap. So you have your stamp with your date on it, and then their commission expires and they renew it. They didn't want to spend money on another stamp. So what did they do? They will get a stamp, keep the same stamp from, let's just say, like my commission expired, my first one in 2022. Here we are in 2023. Yeah, 2023, and I forgot the year already. And I'm using my stamp that has the expiration of 2022, and people were lining through 2022 initially and then writing 2026, as their new expiration. All it takes is for you to not pay attention and actually stamp the document and forget to do that. So now you stamp the document with an incorrect notary stamp. And I get that. Hopefully the notary doesn't do that. But you can't have me doing something illegal. I feel like New York search engine always down. Yeah, they are. They probably are. Same for the medical nursing. Gotcha. So so this is the whole process. So for those, if you're trying to figure out why you're not getting anything, if that loan company, if like right now I'm seeing mortgages coming from Rocket Mortgage, um, Loan Pronto, Mr. Cooper, some Wells Fargo, some Truist, and Navy Federal. Those six, and all of those loan brokers and those companies done went out of business. They're gone. And if you had a title company that was connected to more of a broker rather than the traditional lending, that title company probably going out of business, which means we're not getting any money. And then on the signing company side, the signing company, that signing company, they struggling because of who they was connected to, and who they was connected to was connected to somebody that was not. Instead of being a loan officer, they were, somebody that was a mortgage broker instead of, you know, like, traditional lending. Okay. So instead, so you have that causes a whole nother realm of issues coming down to us, which is why, again, it is very, very important for you to take whatever comes through. The signing companies, the one good thing about the signing company, not like this is the only good thing, but one of the good things about signing companies, they're trying to survive. So they might get connected with people to do IRAs, commercial real estate deals, the loan mods, the debt settlements, the HELOCs. People are getting HELOCs left and right. I did a loan mod today. I got a couple of loan mods. They only paying 30 bucks, but I'm doing them anyway. Matter of fact, I got a partial claim of HELOC. That bad boy paying 20 bucks. I'm doing it just to see. This is a new signing company, never done anything with them. So I'm gonna do it just to see the flow. It might be 3 pages. I don't know yet. They might have the documents uploaded, but I don't know. So I've already confirmed the appointment. I go there, get it done, boom. Knocked it out. Supposed to meet the person at the Walmart. Hopefully we can sit inside the Walmart and do it instead of going out. I'm sitting on my car. We'll just find a spot inside and do it and everything. And all of that. But the signing companies are trying to find work. So I know a lot of people want to work direct with title, but here's the difference between working direct with title versus signing companies. Title, their primarily focus is what? The real estate, the actual real estate transaction for the property, the home. The signing company, they're trying to find business from whoever got it. So you might see medical stuff, door knocks, all kinds of things. They're trying everything. And they're like, hey, we need somebody just to go take this one piece of paper to so and so. We'll pay you 50 bucks. I did one today. It was just an affidavit. The person had an affidavit they needed to sign for some kind of inheritance thing, had nothing to do with real estate. I took it over there. The lady signed it. It was two signatures, one notarization. I was on my way. Made 50 bucks. This is what's out there. So you have to just flow with what's out there. And then again, it goes all the way back, in my opinion, to your profile that communicates that you're willing to do those things. If you communicate that in your profile, that gives them confidence that, okay, we'll select this person. Just saying that, hey, I was, a former, military chief, or I did this in the, okay, that's nice. You did all of that stuff in the military. You was a college executive, you raised 15 kids, but that doesn't tell us that we can confidently trust you to be a notary for us when we need you to be. That's what you got to communicate. Okay, just saying that, hey, I'm an on-time notary. I got a stamp and a printer. Eh, okay, that's all the notaries out there. They got a stamp and a printer. Well, I got great customer service skills. That's what every notary says. you know. So, but then at the same time, you can't be fudging your profile. I recently had a conversation with a gentleman about the profile, and apparently there's notaries out there who are straight up lying in their profiles. So some of the signing companies are being extra cautious now, and they will call you, and in my opinion, I call it a quiz. They're quizzing you about your background and experience as it relates to your profile. If they think, and if, as they're talking to you, if they think that what you're saying out of your mouth versus what you wrote in your profile is not the same, they're not gonna mess with you. And that's even if you work with other people and got good reviews from other companies, they I mean, it's like they not believing that. And that's why a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, more than a couple of months, I said this phrase, I asked the question, what do we have to do to prove to you that we are solid? What does it actually take? How much training do I need to take? Whose training do I need to take? How many reviews do I need? All of this in order to confidently to prove to the signing company that you can trust me to do the work. That's my question. And I don't know because I got over 2,500 signings under my belt and I still get questioned about my experience. And it does frustrate me because I'm like, okay, I'm busting my butt taking everything that even looks like it can make me some money. And that's still not good enough. I have people who give me good reviews, and that's still not good enough. And people still questioning whether or not I'm a solid notary. I put my profile out there, great profile, and it's still not good enough. I don't know what it's going to take to get people to trust me. I won't say us because that's, this is an individual thing. I don't know. But I do think something, I don't know something has to give to where it's like, okay, once you hit this point, we know we can trust you. And part of the reason why they say they can't trust the notaries is because so many notaries are out there are doing some creepy stuff. And that becomes a huge, huge problem. So let me pull this other thing up. So any questions that y'all got concerning this beloved notary business? Any questions that you got, doesn't matter what it is, just talk to me while I pull this thing up from National Notary. Um, show y'all something here. And I want to show y'all a place where y'all can get some resources too on the NNA site. Because no matter how much people brag about they can be this mentor to you and that mentor to you, the NNA got some deep resources to help you out. Okay. Let me get in here and where am I at? All right. So let me show y'all this real quick. So when you log into NNA, you have an area called My NNA. And this here notary certificates gives you all the different certificate. Oh, and you in order to see this, you have to have the hotline membership. Starting out, it's good to have the hotline membership. I would say at least for a year or two. I had did a 4-year thing with them. I think, think about it. The NNA has all these resources that you can get to for, I think, for 4 years, it's like $199. You got people out there telling you I can be your mentor for 300 bucks a month. And they don't have nowhere near these resources. And in some cases, they're stealing the resources from the NNA and then reselling it back to you. They tweak a little something here or there. That's why you have to be careful when you got people that talk about don't go to the NNA, don't worry about it, just get all your info from me. It's because they're taking what the NNA says for your state and then sending it back to you or selling it back to you when you could get the stuff right here all you want. So before you go hopping on with some mentor, come to here. Okay. This is where you can get. So you go in here and you got all the different states, Connecticut, all the different types of juris proof of sale, signature market document, whatever your state has. This is why I say you have to be careful about what signing companies ask you to do and the way they tell you to do things. Oh, that'd be like them. Oh yeah, do a signature by mark acknowledgement. I ain't never heard that before. Never, never, never heard that before. Let me see what this. I'm pulling it up to see what it says. Okay, I don't need the tour. Whatever this is from whom witness writing markers. I'm not even trying to understand that. And then they got instructions on here what all this means. If somebody from this state was to tell me to do that in my state, I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't do that. I have never heard of that. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And they'll be like, well, no, you need to do that because that's what we need done. And I'm like, I don't believe I can do that. We need to find out from my state, is this something that I'm allowed to do? You see what I'm saying? So you have to keep that in mind. But over here, da, 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 under laws and resources, it has new notary laws. Okay. And this is the only way I know to get to this area. And this is on the NNA site. So new notary laws. This right here, let me zoom this in some. Right here it says U.S. Notary Reference. If you want to get some good, solid information concerning your state laws, you go into that U.S. Notary Reference. So let's go to Maryland because I talked about Maryland earlier. And this talks about everything you need to know about Maryland laws about real estate. Okay. I mean, about notary. Okay. Sorry about all this fast scrolling. Real estate practices. All right. So let's zoom in here. Now, this is not me trying to throw shade on Maryland or anything of that nature, but you got to also read your state laws and stuff. Okay. All right. So now, as Ms. Robbins said, it talks about notaries having, being tipped. And in here it talks about the circumstances in which that is. Okay. Now, all of this is saying that, and let me make sure I got my stuff right. All right. So what this is talking about in such synopsis, and I know most of y'all are reading it. Basically, when the notary is apparently by themselves, is the only individual other than the buyer who is present at closing, and the notary is presenting documents for signature, which may result in the issuance of title insurance, collecting escrow funds, or otherwise performing any duty other than witnessing of a signature. The notary must also be a licensed title producer. So if I'm not issuing insurance, if I'm not collecting escrow funds or otherwise performing duties outside of just witnessing the signature, then in my state I don't need a license. Okay. The title license stuff should have already been talked to the couple ahead of time. And then they're just signing off on it. And in Virginia, when I get there, they've already discussed that with them. And they a lot of times they have them DocuSign stuff saying they understand the title insurance and they just doing it in front of me as a formal thing, but I'm not providing them title insurance. I'm not trying to sell them on it. That has already been done. So, and it says here, according to Maryland Insurance Administration, a notary who merely attends a real estate closing or settlement that is conducted by another person or entity and who merely witnesses signatures in consideration of statutory fees that notary is permitted to charge that a notary is permitted to charge does not, in the view of the MIA, I don't know what that I haven't looked that up, fall within the scope of insurance article, this, that, and the other, and is not required to secure a title producer's license in order to perform such services. And the service is witnessing the signature. So, and I know it's splitting hairs. I know it's splitting hairs, and I'm not saying for Maryland notaries to go around saying, I don't need title insurance. You got to make sure, and the whole point of this is to make sure that you understand what the law is and you go read it for yourself. And I showed you how to get there. Get an NNA membership. Even if you get it for just 1 year, get in there, download it, and then you may never use that stuff again. And you have this information so you will know what you can do. Just like for Virginia. Let me scroll down here for Virginia. Electronic Notary Acts. What is that? Real estate practices. And this clearly tells us that under the Virginia Real Estate Act, a person conducting a settlement and real transaction, including notary signing agents, must be a licensed title agent for the Commonwealth. Okay. According to the Insurance Bureau, handling of settlement funds, including the passing of check from a borrower to a signing agent, requires title insurance license. And an appointment from a title insurance company, only attorneys, real estate brokers, and financial institutions are authorized to do ... And then all of this, that, and the other, the insurance requirements. But then it says, since the Virginia Bar Association has not expressed no formal opposition to witness closing, and witness closings, and I've talked to y'all about this before, is where you're just there to witness the signatures. I did a video, LSA versus NSA. Go look it up. Just Google, just search on YouTube, Griffin Notary, LSA versus NSA, and you will see that video. And all we're to do, and it says some notary signage do manage to operate without a title license, but only in transactions that do not require them to handle settlement checks. And if it's involved, then we can give them an overnight envelope, express envelope for them to ship it back themselves. And this is one of the problems that I run into is that people don't understand. So it says may forward the requirement settlement without it being handled by the notaries. That means I'm not collecting it, I'm not transporting it, I'm not doing anything with it at all. So even if you're talking about, well, they can go and you can just open the envelope up and they stick. It is not saying that. I can't handle. I cannot have it upon my person. Okay, I cannot have it upon my person in any way, shape, or form. There, I hope y'all understand that. Maybe in my little fake British accent, it'll come across clearer. So this is what we as notaries got to make sure we're doing. It's not, see, this ain't about explaining documents and showing the who and the what and the where and the why and all this, that, and the other. This is about making sure that you ain't doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing. And I know that's the worst English, but that's just my English. So I know it's controversial. Everybody does it. I got companies who are blacklisted me because I won't collect closing funds. I won't go explain title documents or title insurance stuff. Okay. Because if I lose my commission, ain't none of y'all gonna be paying me no money to feed my family. Oh man, I didn't realize. Oh, you shouldn't have done it, man. Why you listen to us? You know how people are. They tell you to do stuff, then you turn around and do it. And then why you listen to us and stuff. And what my lady says here is sometimes experience is not the end all be all. Integrity means more, Griff. You are where you are because of your experience and integrity. Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, my plight is this. It all rises and rests on me. And if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing correctly, I'm messing things up for my family. And I ain't got time to be doing that. So if you go in here and into this US reference, it got stuff for every single state. I'm telling you, every single state. And all you got to do is just click export, and you can export it as a PDF or Word. And now you have it. And I have it on my computer, all of that. And there are a lot of people out here who do not really understand their state laws. The NNA has the resources. That's why I'm saying I'd rather pay money to the NNA. And I'm not saying the NNA is the end all be all, but why would I pay $100, $200, $300 to this other human being who doesn't have the knowledge that the NNA has, that doesn't have the resources that NNA. What are you really helping me to do? What are you telling me? Okay, yeah, okay, you're telling me about Google, you're telling me about marketing, you're telling me about nursing home, you're telling me about this, that, and the other, but I need to know my state law. Oh, well, I can't help you with that. You need to go figure that out on your own. So I got to give you $300 for you to tell me to go figure it out on my own. And I'm not trying to mess up anybody's game here. I'm not trying to mess up anybody's money, but it's just a practicality of it. As business owners, we have to have a return on investment. So paying you $200, $300, what return on investment do I get? I actually did a video about that too, people. Did a lot of videos. Griffin Notary, search Griffin Notary return on investment. I'm telling you, that's a great video. I love that video. What is my return on investment? As I stated in that video, if you're talking to a financial planner, because some of y'all have financial managers, planners, and you've already been putting money away, and now you're going to quit your job and then be a notary, and they're telling you, yeah, don't take orders that's under $200 and pay me $300 to be your mentor. How many $200 orders do you see a month? Maybe 4 or 5. Okay. How much you got to pay them? $300 a month. What's your expenses? 1,500. How many orders have you seen? And this is your financial planner talking to you. How many orders have you seen below $200? A good number. How much money does that equal up to? Oh, I see probably about maybe $7,000, $8,000 worth that's coming through. How much of that do you think you can legitimately do? Oh, I probably can get maybe $5,000 or $6,000 of that. Maybe, could be more or less, but I can probably pull that. Why aren't you doing it? Well, they told me don't take those orders. Why? Well, it's going to hurt the notary business. It's going to hurt other people. Why are you concerned about what you do hurting other people? How are you doing it to take care of your family hurting somebody else? Are they doing stuff to make sure that they don't hurt you? I don't know. I guess so. I mean, that's what they said. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe, y'all. Because that's all this is. See what you're saying here. It's all right. Took the blueprint, no, the blueprint. Never heard of them. Never heard of Blueprint Notary Course. Never heard of them. Again, I'm gonna go look it up. I know it doesn't promote free enterprise, but I wish that notary education and training was more streamlined. There are too many predatory trainers out there who really don't teach you anything. Correct. And what they're doing, look, let's just be real. For this year, let me see, hold up. For this year so far, I hope I hold on. Okay. For this year, come on, stop being slow. There we go. For this year, I've done so far for this year, the 6 months, I've done, it says 426 closings divided by 426 closings. That's what I've done this year. Divided by 6, I'm doing 71 signings a month. As I've always said, the question is how much work are you willing to do to get to the goal that you want? That's the question. That is the question. That is truly the question. I did 76 closings last month. My revenue was 7,675. So that means 7,675 divided by 76. That's $100.99 that I made per order. That's what I average. Now, you tell me if you can average $100 per order consistently or somewhat consistently, much better than $4 or $5, $200 in order. Which one you gonna take to feed your family? That's really what it's all about. That is really what it's all about. You know, all of that. So let me see what my lady here said. The test for notary signing agent in Maryland was awful. The hardest test ever, worse than the Notion board. Yep, I've heard that that thing is hard. I've heard that it is hard. But what I learned is if you're a notary in Maryland under the right conditions, you could do loan closings if there's other people in there to do the title stuff and collect the check. I never hear anybody talk about that. I just hear everybody brag about they got that title producer license. And let's just be real. There are some human beings on this earth there's human beings on this earth of every nationality, every race that love to have accolades, that love to have certifications. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And you cannot subscribe an accolade or a certification that you have on other people if it's not required. And you can't look down on them because they don't have it. And there's a lot of effort that goes into getting a title producer license, probably in any state. And there's a lot of money that's involved with getting it. And I understand that after you done spent all that money, that's yeah. But I don't need that in my state. I don't want it. It doesn't give me more money. And if it's not putting me in a position to get more money, will it get me more orders? Probably. But if they're not going to, but if they're going to give me more orders, they didn't just pay me the same as if I didn't have it, and then it's costing me a lot of money to keep that title producer license and renew it every however many years. Am I really making out? You get what I'm saying? Remember, only take $200 signings, but you got to pay your mentor $300, and you only see three or four, maybe five $200 orders a month. So you're talking about maybe 1,000 you bringing in, but you got to give them 300, and you still got 15. Your total expenses for paper and this, that, and the other is 1,500. You're deep in the negative. You're deep in the negative and stuff. Is a Griff. Not everybody is a notary goat or hungry for their pocket. Yeah, yeah, you're right. And then my lady said, when I sold my house in Virginia, my realtor and notary were present. To be honest, I'm not sure who had a title license. I was glad to see. And see, the thing is, in Virginia, the if you're selling a house, so that means you're not even kicking out any money. You shouldn't be kicking out any money to pay anything, like title, like closing costs, because all of that's wrapped in there. So they extract that out automatically. But when somebody's buying and they got to bring closing money to the table, here you go. Here's your FedEx slip. Here's your UPS slip. Ship that back. I mean, that's just the law here. And the problem is that we got too many people thinking that the way it is in their life is the same way everywhere else. And if you was in a title office, that was even better. So you already had the title people there that could handle any title questions that come up. And here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. If anybody's been out there doing closings with real estate agents, that real estate agent don't say a word. For the most part, they really don't say a word. Every now and then you might have one that they want to make sure the customer, oh, I'm gonna show you this, and this is what this is. And then on the backside is this, because they worried that they're not gonna get that commission. They worried, they scared. I'm like, if you ain't done your job by now to make sure that person gonna sign. I mean, they're moving. I've been in closings where the person is in the house that they are moving out of. They've sold the house that they're moving out of, getting ready to buy another house in a different state, and the daggone real estate agent is freaking out like they're worrying about this person going to actually sit here and say, "No, I'm not going to buy the house and be homeless." I'm like, come on, people. This don't make a bit of sense. But that's what we got going on out there. So, but what I've learned is, and well, I guess you could say learned and noticed, the title never tells the escrow what to do. The escrow never tells the title. Realtors never tell the title and the lenders. I'm sorry, the lenders never tell title. The title never tells the lenders. The real estate people never tell the escrow or the title people or the lenders how to run their job and what they do. Everybody stays, they don't mess with the other people, but everybody's there that is trying to tell the notary how to do their job. There's so many people in this whole line of process that's always trying to tell us, do this way, do that way. I've even had signers. I'm sitting there doing stuff. Why did you cross that out? The property is in Michigan. But where are we at? Okay, what does that mean? It means that I have to say where I'm at when I notarize your signature. Oh, okay. I guess you do know what you're doing. I've had that. I've had realtors looking like, what are you doing? And the only time the realtors say something to me, say something is when they're trying to correct me. They're thinking they're correcting me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, I don't understand. Why did you cross that out? Okay, why do you need to understand it? And I think I said that one because I was like, okay, I'm like, okay, I'm the guy who, do you understand notarial? Well, no, I don't know anything about notarial. I got this. I got this. And what I've learned and found out is that there's very little trust that some people have toward us, which means they may not fully respect what we do, not necessarily have a disrespect for you, but they may not fully respect the job or the role of a notary. And a lot of times that comes in because they don't understand it. I know a person who took a real estate class who's a notary, and she said they go through the closing stuff and they don't even mention anything about the notary. They talk about the closing process and don't even say a word about what a notary is supposed to do. And y'all have heard my videos where I talked about the issues with the signers with the two different names and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I'm sitting here like, okay, we and see this is again, and I know this might be a title company or a lender or whoever, a signing company. Look, I'm not trying to start no mess, but when you got people telling you up, down, left, and right, go get training, get this training, get that training, go to this conference, go to this meetup. You got to network. You got to be doing all of this stuff. And it's cost money to do all this stuff that y'all asking us to do. And then when an opportunity comes, you're like, can I really trust you? Do you really know what you're doing? Are you sure? I mean, how many buyer packages have you done? How many HELOCs have you done? And at 2,500, I'm not sitting there, but at this point, I don't know. I've done them. I'm like, I can't give you a number. Well, give me an estimate. I mean, I've had people tell, I'm like, give you an estimate of how many of 2,500 closings that I've done were actual HELOCs, reverse, or VA loans or I can't do that. You see what I'm saying? And that's a way that people can they find a way to disqualify you. People are looking more to disqualify folk, and this is just across the board. They're looking more. They talk to you in such a way to try to disqualify you rather than to make sure that you actually know what you're doing. And it sounds like, well, no, they're asking, but they're asking you stuff. When people asking you, it's like, well, how many of this have you done? How many of that have you done? What's the average time that it takes you to do a closing? How many, this and that? What would you do if there was five signers versus three? If you went there and they told you there was going to be three and there was five, what would you do then? It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Come on now. Come on. Are you gonna pay me in the same day? Or you gonna wait or you gonna make me wait 90 days after I done sat here for 3 hours dealing with five signers? Are you gonna up my fee? These are questions. You see what I'm saying? So we're in a good business, but we're gonna have to find a way to learn how to trust one another. We have to find a way that, okay, if a person has this, then we know we can trust them. And if they turn out to be bad apples, sour lemon or whatever you want to call it, then we deal with them accordingly and we don't use them no more. And then we have to find a way to put them out of, you're like, okay, you don't need to be in the notary business. And I, and my thing is, this is what I think should happen. We need to do a back trace. Okay, you cutting the food this much. Where did you get your training from? Where did you, we need to figure out, how did we get here with you doing this? Why are you stamping every single page? Why are you having people initial every document when there's no initial spot on there? Well, that was what they don't want to say that's who they train. Well, oh, I just thought that no. Somebody taught you that. Somebody trained you to do that. We need to know who. Hey, Mr. Trainer, Miss Trainer, what the heck are you telling people? Because you mistraining them is costing me money. Because if the training is bad and then the execution of the closing is bad, that's what's causing the problems. It's not the $60 orders, it's not the $85 orders. It's the fact that a person has gotten paid to do something and they don't know how to do it. That's what makes it bad for us notaries. That's the hurting part. And that's the part that we got to figure out how to stop. But most people don't want to deal with that because we're all independent contractors and it's on you to make it happen. You should come in having the proper training. You should be coming in knowing how to do stuff. And again, that's why I share with y'all in your profile, you need to write that and communicate it. And you have to humble yourself like I had to and be and allow yourself to be questioned about your background because there's so many pandemic and post-pandemic notaries, etc., etc. Now, here's something that I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all something for new notaries on setting up or keeping your stuff organized with um, your loan closings. So when the order comes in, you get the notification. Wait a minute, let me come back to y'all explain this. So when the order comes in, you get a notification, text message, however. You click on the link that's in the text message, you go there, you see the screen, and you say, yep, I'm available, or no, I'm not. If you are available, you say, yes, I'm available. You click the button, it says I'm available. If they assign it to you, normally they will send you a text message and an email. You get the text message saying you've been assigned. A few minutes later, you'll get an email saying you've been assigned. You go in there, you look into your SnapDocs or your signing order or signature closers profile, and you see on the dashboard an order all nice and shiny just for you. At some point in time, they're going to add documents. You don't need to be hounding them about the documents. If they got the signing is 5 days out, I know you want to get the documents so you can sit there and spend 17 hours tagging it and another 20 hours practicing how you're going to explain the documents, which you really don't need to be explaining the documents at all. But that's you. Okay. You're going to do that. So you want to spend about 37 hours getting the documents prepped, and they're not giving you the documents until about 4 hours before the closing. Okay. So when you get the documents, where do you put them? And I'm learning that a lot of people, that's where they're making mistakes at. All right. So where do you put the documents? What I have is, and this is in a different spot over here, but I have a folder for each year. As the year comes, and this one is called 2023 closings. I couldn't make it any bigger. So this is called 2023 closings. So inside of 2023 closings, and I have it on an external hard drive, is a folder that has a company. Okay, I think I can make this bigger. So the company, whatever the company name is, okay, doesn't matter. The company name. You go in here and you say, okay, I'm just making up a name. Golden Light Signings. Okay. So you have a company called Golden Light Signings. You have we'll change this company to Starlight signings. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you make it all cap or lower cap, it don't matter. Nobody's seeing this but you. I have this here, so I go inside. Oops, wrong folder. They switched on me. I go inside, and what do I have here? Where is it? And what do I have here? I have folders for the people that I'm doing for that company. So let's go back. So we have a folder called 2023 closings. Inside that folder is the names of the companies that I'm doing closings for. Inside the company folder, inside of Starlight signings, is the three people who I've done this year for that company. And then inside that folder is their loan documents. So here's their loan documents, whatever that, and any other associated documents for that closing. That keeps things organized so you don't have stuff all over. Because sometimes the companies will call the documents loan docs, closing docs, document to notary. And a lot of companies do that. And if you download that and just throw it on your desktop and you got 15 different closings and they all say closings to notary or notary documents, all you end up doing is just rewriting or overwriting and stuff, and you can get confused. So you need to have it separated. So you have a folder that says, in this case, 2023 closings, meaning these closings happen in 2023. Inside that folder is the name of the company that you've done or getting ready to do a closing for. Starlight Closings or Starlight Signing Company, however you want to do it. Even if you're good enough to remember the initials, then just put the initials. Then inside the folder of that company are the signers that you did, the Griffins, the Jones, the Lewises, the Smith, the Yucatans or whoever. And then inside of that individual, you put the actual documents that's associated with them. It makes it easier for you to find. So when you are, and let me show y'all over here with the Adobe. So when you are in Adobe and you say open, and then I go over here, let me go back, and then I go to my folder 2023 closings. I go to Starlight, I go to Griffin, and then I open said document and it's blank. I'm telling you, I've done all kind of other methods, and this method has been by far the easiest for me to be able to find my documents when I needed them. The easiest. And if you have somebody who is another person whose last name is, let's say, Griffin, then you can do, what I normally do is keep everything last name Griffin, Troy. So now I got Griffin, and then I would change this to whoever the first Griffin was, and then Earl. So now I got. Oops, oh, that's right. I got that folder open. Okay. Earl. And now, so I got Earl Griffin, Troy Griffin, Jones, Smith. And this is an easy way. Sorry about how small it is. I can't make it any larger for whatever reason. And that's how easy it is to just organize. Now, tell me what y'all think about that. I know y'all have your own methods, but some notaries who are just coming in, you haven't even gotten any work and you haven't even thought about how to organize this stuff to keep track of it. This is the easiest way that I found for me to keep track. And then I have other folders, 2023 G&W, 2023 Apostille, 2023 Docs. And the 2023 Docs is really my notary docs, any document related to my notary business. Copy of my commission, could be your driver's license in there if you need to, copy of your e-notary certificate from the state, copy of your NNA stuff, all of that. And I put those things in there so if somebody asks for it, I know where to go. I have my W-9 in there, all of that kind of stuff. Boom. Those documents that somebody might need. If a new signing company comes up and they want me to, or a new signing database platform, then okay, boom, I stick my stuff in there. And then I have a location where all of that stuff is at, instead of it just being scattered all over the place. So it took me 3 years to figure this out. I'm not gonna lie, I did all kinds of other methods, and I'm telling you, this has been the easiest so far. That way, you determine how long you're gonna keep the documents. Some people keep them for a good little while. Some people at the end of the year, because I've had things where people came back and they're like, "Oh, we don't have the documents no more." Like I don't know why they don't have it, but then they ask me. I've had people come back a month later. Oh, we lost. Can you go take it and get them redo it? Because they're so busy. They're like, they don't have the unsigned documents or have access to it no more for whatever reason. Maybe they're deleted. So most people tend to get rid of the documents after they get paid. Once they get paid, and that's including the scan back, because see, you can do scans and then you stick the scans in that same folder for Earl Griffin. So now you know where the scans at. Somebody comes and say, "Well, you didn't do such and such. Let me go see the scans." Oh, yeah, I got the scan. Let me see what Earl Griffin. Yep. Nope, I did scan that back to y'all. Oh, okay. You have that kind of stuff, you know. So you keep the files for as long as whatever agreement you have with the company, all of that. You figure that out for your own policies. Just some companies say, "Hey, as soon as you done with the signing and send it, ship it back, get rid of it." Okay, fine, get rid of it. Then if they come back to you, "Hey, do you have? You told me to get rid of it." Oh yeah, that's right, we did. Yeah, you did. You know, so you figure that out. Work with the companies to do all of that. Keep this in mind. The only people that know what you got going on your computer is you. That's not something that you need to be broadcasting. Hey, I got this going on. Hey, I got that going on. If you're going to use an external hard drive, I suggest something that has 2 terabytes. 2 terabyte hard drive. In the description is a link to my Google. I mean, not my Google, my Amazon um shopping page, and I think I have some external hard drives on there. But you can I will go with 2 terabytes, and my 2 terabyte hard drive is doing fine. I have not had any problems with it. I still got 1.81 terabyte free on it, and I've had this thing for 5 years. Well, 5 years? No, 4 years. I'm sorry, 4 years. So yeah, you can decide how long you're going to keep the documents. And you've worked that out between you and the companies. Nobody else needs to know because it's none of their business. You know, it's just that's just the truth of it. Let me see what you said. Did a loan mile yesterday in New Jersey, but the property's in New York. The signer was in New Jersey, but the documents were in New York. It drives me crazy when they say don't alter the document in the instructions. Yeah. And one of the things that you probably going to have to do, and I happened to me, and I just didn't have time to do it. You're probably going to have to ask them, can I change? Is it okay if I change the notarial area? Because sometimes they don't want you to change the notarial area. I mean, they don't want you to change the other parts of the documents, but it's okay to put the correct venue in the notarial area. So you can ask them that. If you don't have a chance to ask them that, that's where you got to add an all-purpose acknowledgement or a jurat to do so. And I had to do that for a thing in Texas. It was a property in Texas, and they said clearly on there, do not make any alterations, no cross outs, initial, nothing. So I had to make sure they signed correctly and made no mistakes on the date and stuff. Um, then when it came time for me to do my notary stuff, if it didn't have a blank venue in there, I pulled the all-purpose acknowledgement out, and no one came back and said anything. So I guess I'm good to go. Confirmations that I get, You can create folders in your email thing and drop those over there. You can do that. And drop all your confirmations for those different companies in there so you can have that. But that's completely up to you. I mean, you can make, yeah, how you do it. I just keep the emails, and then I go back and delete them later once I know that everything is done. I've been paid, all of that stuff. Everything's good for this order. Okay, delete. I don't worry about too much trying to keep those confirmation, but I hold on to them till the order is done. Once the order is complete, then and I send the documents back and I see that I know they got them. And sometimes I will keep the confirmations around till at least I got paid. That way, know, if something pop up, then I'm like, hey, your confirmation said this. It didn't say that and stuff. So you have to do that sometimes. Um, Yeah, and then Oswald saying he keeps a PDF of the confirmation. It's completely up to you. The one thing that I do now, after I get off of here, I got to do, I scan back everything. I got a closing I did today. No scan backs required, but I'm scanning that sucker because there are people out here who will sit here and say you didn't do something and all of that. So yeah, key confirmation, staple receipts from FedEx, UPS. Once I get paid, then you shred them. Yeah, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You come up with a process. The thing that we have to remember is this, people. The four entities that are in this notary business: the lender, the title people, the signing company, and the notary are all four independent businesses. We are not employees of each other. We are not. We are not employees of each other. Okay, at all. So you have to come up with your own business policies and practices just as they do. And I understand that some signing companies, some lenders, some title, they really want to control and make sure everything goes right. But we're not people to control, just like they're not people to control, because we would like to get paid quicker from them and they pay us when they feel like it. But then they want to tell us every step of the way to do things. And that's when you start getting into that realm of employee. Look up the federal independent contractor laws. And again, I'm not trying to start no mess, but again, it gets a little frustrating when you are trying to dictate everything that a notary does and then tell them I'm not paying you for 90 days. That I mean, that's like you trying to get a loan for a house and you telling me I want this, I want that in my house on that, and then when you get to say, yeah, I'm gonna make my first payment in 6 months. Nah, you making your payment when we just told you. So I think there just have to be, respect. And if there's bad notaries out here, then something needs to be done to move them out the way. And then you have good notaries that you can rely on and trust, and they've proven themselves, or they're in the process of proving themselves because you're giving them a chance. Then I think respect needs to go both ways. It's just that simple. Because I just got a bad feeling if notaries keep getting treated bad, somebody's gonna start pushing back and be like, okay, well, if you want me to do all that, then you need to pay me same day. Here's my cash app. Yeah, I might lose $3 and for service fees, but if you're trying to, I got to do this, I got to do that, got to do this, got to do that, I got to do all this stuff because you promised somebody that you wanted something done and you never talked to me about it, which you didn't have to because I'm independent. Then you need to pay me same day. And I've heard people say this, and they're like, and this is over a year ago. I heard notaries talking like this, and I'm like, we got to find a way to develop some trust with each other. I don't know what it's going to take. Um, I really don't. And what did you say here, Miss Melissa? It's hard because so many people in the process are under pressure. Signing companies shouldn't control us, but I'm sure they're getting burnt by trifling. Yes, yes. And see, that's why I wish the signing companies will come out publicly and on do a YouTube. And I've been trying to get title companies, title and signing companies to come over here with me and let's talk about this. Share your experience and share what it is that you're looking for. Because what the title company really is looking for and wants from a notary versus what they're being trained and told how to approach a signing company or a title company, 5,613 different things. What this title company and the signing company are expecting from a notary on just a basic level, that's not what's being taught out there. They are they don't care about your cookies, donuts, and all that other stuff. They don't care about that. They need to know that you can do the job. And if I can show you I can do the job, then cool. And then all I ask is that you respect that. Hey, I have to follow my state law because out of those four entities that I mentioned to you, far as I know, only one raises their hand and takes an oath to follow a constitution of their state, and that's the notary. So I'm obligated to follow my state constitution, my state notary laws, as well as in some cases in Virginia, they said the Constitution of the United States. Because you might have to do some federal stuff. I don't need somebody putting pressure on me to do something that violates that. Why we can't just do what we're supposed to do and keep it going? You do yours, Linda, escrow, signing, notary. If everybody does what they're supposed to do, I don't see how the process can't be smooth. But when you're asking the last person on the process, the notary, to do all of this other stuff in order to make the deal go through. And my question is then what happened prior to me coming? Because back in January, you was working on this deal. I get involved in it in March, early April, late March, early April to do a closing. And now you want me to sit here and make sure that they sign everything with the full knowledge and understanding and they agree to everything. I said, who was supposed to when did I why am I putting up why and I'm just starting. I literally like I'm a brand new notary. I'm just starting. This is my first order. And now I gotta focus more on whether or not they feel comfortable about doing this deal versus me actually notarizing the signature that I'm required to do. That's the pressure that notaries are under. And I understand that. And again, I just think that if notaries can just do their job for the first 10, 15 without that pressure, y'all will enjoy this a whole lot more. And you will see how easy it is to do this here because you're just focusing on what you're supposed to be there, which is primarily witness closings. Unless you're in Maryland, got a title license, and then you got to do your title insurance stuff if applicable. If it's not applicable, then just witness the signatures, keep it going. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. That's what I do according to my state guidelines and everything. You say, do they know how important they do? And I've always said, and many people know, I say what the notaries are the most important, but the least powerful. And the power comes from the person who controls the money. That could either be the lender, that could either or the title people, the folk holding it in escrow. The signing company, they listen to the person with the money because they're trying to make money. The notary, we got to listen to our state, regardless of whether we getting paid $200 a signing or $2 a signing. It don't matter what we're getting paid for our notary stamp. We still got to listen to our state. We still got to. That's who we're obligated to listen to. And anybody who's a signing company owner that used to be a notary, the same thing for them. I know we can do things better, and I honestly believe things are going to get better. But sometimes you got to rip the band-aid off and just come out and say, hey, I'm tired of these bad notaries. If you come to my business this way, that way, or the other, just know that we're not dealing with you. If you're lying in your profile and we find out, we're going to deal with you, this, that, and the other. In the USA Gymnastics, That's the organization that controls the Olympic, the gymnastics training, and getting people to the Olympics. They have a list of people who are banned from the USA from all gymnastics forever. We always talk about this blacklist of notaries. Look, if notaries are doing stuff that bad, they need to be on a ban list at the back of the NNA page. Like, go look at the ban notary. Okay, my name ain't up there. Good. I mean, because if you're doing that bad of stuff, but then I think there's a redemption that a notary can, because most likely any notary who's doing stuff that bad, that's what they was trained to do. They was trained to do that way. And like I always say, how you market the business determines how people come into the business. If you market it like it's a side hustle, like it's just something where you can just go get some, quick $10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and all you got to do is have a stamp and a printer. That's the mentality people going to have. They're not going to come into this business with the respect and honor that it deserves. That's what I've seen, and y'all seen it too. Look in the Facebook groups that y'all are part of. It says it right there. Oh, okay, that's cool. I have to go back to a sign tomorrow because the title company wants the wife's former name and current name on the deed. I told them I would go back. Thought that the title company would be upset. Um, Now here's the thing, and I did a video about this. If they want her former name and her current name, you got to find out what your state law says about that. Because if they want her to, if they want you to notarize the signature, because that's what you're doing, you're notarizing the signature of Jane Smith and AKA or FKA, meaning formerly known as Jane Williams. You have to see ID in both of those names. There has to be some proof, because in your notary law book, you're saying that you have proof of Jane Smith and proof of Jane Williams. What is that proof? And it can't just be the title company. I did a video about this. I got into a big scuffle with the title company on this. They're like, well, we already verified who. Okay, that's what you did, but my state says this is what I got to do. For Virginia, and I don't know what state you're in. I forgot what state you said. I think New York, New Jersey. So for Virginia, we have to make sure we either personally know them, valid state ID, photo ID, or some kind of ID from the state government, something, military, or we have credible witness or credible witnesses. If I know the credible witness personally, then I can use that person. So like if Oswald was down here, um, if Oswald was down here and he knew somebody, if Oswald down here, because I know Oswald, I only need one credible witness to verify that that person is so and so when they don't have ID. If I don't know the credible witness, then I need two credible witnesses. That's what Virginia says. And then I recently found out that if I'm doing Ron, I only need one credible witness. So I can't just notarize the signature of Jane Williams, because I'm notarizing saying provided to me on sufficient evidence. What evidence was that? I don't have any. I just know that's what she says she is. The driver's license she has in James Williams is expired. There's nobody who can vouch for her. So, you know, yeah, I thought, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're willing to go, but you got to do things right. So you need to find out from your state what's the requirements for you notarizing a signature, and typically it's you have to have ID in the name. And see, this is the problem, because people in the title companies don't understand. They're like, well, why would she have ID in her former name? That is true, but this is the state requirement. And call the NNA and ask them. And when I've called the NNA and asked them about the two different names, mainly when it comes to the young ladies, they say I got to see ID, some kind of ID in both, personally know them, or have credible witness. That's for Virginia. So you need to keep that in mind. Okay. Because the title company will have you, oh, don't worry about it. We verified. We know who she is. Well, how did you verify? Oh, we looked at her marriage certificate or her divorce decree. Okay. In my handbook, it doesn't say I can use those as a primary form of ID. So how do I verify her ID? Okay. And then my lady says, similar in New Jersey, I was shocked originally when the husband's license had his first name cut off. I had to check the second ID. Yeah. So you gotta make sure we are required to do this. So when somebody's signing that notary logbook, that means you saw proper ID. Dot dot dot. And if you did, cool. If you didn't, then you got to make sure you do stuff right. You know, um, because it's on you. It's on you. You took the oath to follow your state constitution, and you can't base it off of what other notaries did. Well, I've been a title person for 5 years, and that's just the way we do it. Did anybody check to see if that was legal? Nah, that's just the way I was told that it was done. And most people don't want to check to see if it's legal because to find out that it's not legal mean it can mess up your process, it can hold things up, and in some cases the deal can't get done. To me, the first thing once that person talking about they want to do a house or refinance their house or whatever, and they find out that they got it under a different name, Jane Smith, and now they Jane Williams, quick claim deed or something needs to be done to fix all of that, but that's on them. We follow our state laws and we good. So I don't see any more questions. I want to thank all 41 people for showing up. I don't even know if y'all how many people hit the like button. Um, did y'all even hit the like button? I know I'm just messing. 19 likes, man. 41 people. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button. Come on, show me some love. Hit the like button. If you like this content, hit the like button. Everybody else is be bumming y'all for money. Every now and then, I mean, most some people throw a dollar or two, hit the super thanks and stuff. I'm not really, interested in the money part, to be honest with you. But just hit the like button, the hearts and all that kind of stuff. Um, and everything. And yeah, you can, do the super things or super chat if you want, but I'm not at all. I don't even concern myself about that. But people have told me, Griff, you got to mention it. So I mentioned it and all that good stuff. But, and look, we got to give a shout out. Hold up to this lady right here. We got to give a shout out to Susan. She is coming along really, really good. She's a paid YouTube channel member and she she's a YouTube channel member and she's taking advantage of the document review that I do for the members and she has done her 3-4 signings so far very well and have not had any issues. And that's one of the things that I offer to people who are my paid channel members is that if you have a closing, I will help you out. We get online. Matter of fact, I gotta send something to gentleman Troy. And if you listen to Troy, yeah, I did forget because I forgot to make a note to myself. And when I finish this here, I'm gonna send you the stuff that you want. So you can do your thing with the printer and all of that. But my goal is to help y'all because what I believe is this: if you can do your first 5 to 10 closings with as much help as you can get and not make a mistake, it's going to open the door up for you to get other work. And too many notaries have gone out there after paying $500-600 for so-called training and access and Facebook groups and all of that. And then they go do their closings and they have no support except for posted in a Facebook group. And then you get 17 different answers and then you get 30 different replies of you need more training. Well, I just took training. I'm in the training. I'm in the Facebook training group. I'm not here because I just snuck in. I'm here with y'all. We all took the training from the same person, but I don't know how to do my job. Well, you need to go find some more training. What the heck I did spend $500 for? So you can, be a part of the family and we can be cool with each other. But none of y'all can give me the answer to the question that I have about properly notarizing this signature. No, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I will help you out, as Susan said here. Um, all of that. So, and Rhonda, you're a paid member, so we're going to talk about that. Getting your first signing. It really comes down to you doing a decent profile. Young lady sent me her profile today, and it was very nice. She did a really, really good job on it. Um, Doing your profile, and in the members section, look in the community tab, Rhonda. In the community tab is a link to the videos that I did for the members. And in that video list, there's one called the elements or the parts or the anatomy of a profile, something about the profile. It's in there, and I break down the different parts of the profile. It's a video that I did in there about that for y'all, for the members. So go in there and look at that. But you get the profile together to communicate that you know what you're doing as a notary. That's going to open up some awesome doors for you. And then when an order comes in, what God, just do it so you can get a feel for, okay, well, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I can handle this. Just do it. Just go take the order, go knock it out, and be like, okay, I got it done. Because that first 3 to 5, right now, it doesn't really matter what it is. Now, granted, if it's something that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, no, don't do that. But that first one might be an hour's drive. And if you can just go get it done. Sometimes you just do it because sometimes, depending, some of us live in areas that got high traffic, and we spend 45 minutes to an hour in traffic every day just to get to work and get frustrated and get cussed at and dogged out. Here, this is your business. Make the sacrifice. I mean, like I said, tomorrow I got to go up to Williamsburg. It's an hour's drive one way. But the company I'm with, they take good care of me. It's a direct client. They were supposed to did it today. Things came up, couldn't. They was like, "Can you do it tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, here's the time that I can do it." Everybody said that's good. Still don't got the documents. So I don't know. Hopefully they have me the documents first thing in the morning. But I got an 8:30 closing tomorrow morning. And then I got an 8:30, 10:30, and then it's 10 o'clock. And as soon as I finish my 10 o'clock, I'm shooting over there, and I may just have to swing by, pick up the documents from them, and keep it going, but I'll find a way to make it work unless they still don't have it. And then they might push it to Saturday. And if that's the case, they know I'll do it for them on a Saturday. You see what I'm saying? So, um, you have my contact information. Shoot me, hit me up. And Rhonda, and if we want, we can get together one on one and talk and try to get some stuff going for you and all of that. So you're a member, I'm gonna take care of you, and all of that. And then, like I said, Troy, I got you, man. I'm gonna send that stuff to you tonight once I finish here, and then print my documents out, do my scan, all of that good stuff. We got Wanda Boyd in the house. She's a great person. She's doing good out there. So it's doable, people. Okay. Again, I'm not against training. I'm just trying to make sure people aren't getting taken advantage of and not just spinning their wheels and wasting money doing stuff because, oh, that person seems popular. Everybody else raves about them. Okay. Are they giving you a good return on your investment? And that's the whole point of what I try to do. Okay. All right. Whoo, yep. And yeah, hit me up, Rhonda, so we can schedule some time. And heck, if you free tomorrow, maybe we can talk while I'm driving for an hour up to Williamsburg. Because that's when I get with people most of the time when I'm in the car driving from spot to spot. So so I got to be up there by 12:30. I got a 10 o'clock. More than likely I'll be done hopefully by 10:30, quarter to 11. Hit the road straight there. So if you are free and you got my code, you should have my contact info. Here's my one of my numbers, my Google Voice number, and just shoot me a text with your number and let me know if you're gonna be available um during that time, say like 11:30, and then I can call you and we can chop it up during that time while I'm driving. All right. Well, good to see you, Miss Melissa. Appreciate you as always and all that good stuff. Thanks, Oswald, my man from New York and everything. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. But I love chatting with y'all and just being here for the people and making sure that y'all got everything that y'all need so y'all can be successful in this business. And as long as y'all doing that, I'm good. I'm good. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.